In this video, I'm going to be sharing my best tip with you for what to do if you feel like you don't have enough great brands around you to source for a profitable reselling business, or maybe all of the thrift stores around you are overpriced. They're way overpricing their brands. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Hey, I'm Lee Meyer, and I'm the founder of Listing of Freedom and the Empowered Reseller. And I help clothing resellers make more money without hustling harder. Let's get started. Hey there, friend. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. Now, before we jump in, I want to take a quick second to give you a free thank you gift just for being here. This is my free keyword list for clothing resellers. It's broken down by category and it goes through all of the keywords to be including in your listings to help you make more sales. I'll leave a link to get this free resource in the description below this video. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. I've made over $100,000 flipping used clothes on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and I get people coming to me all the time saying, hey, all of the thrift stores are jacking up prices in my area of the brands that I need to be sourcing. Or I get other people coming to me and saying, hey, I don't live in an area where I have access to a lot of valuable higher end brands. They're going, what am I supposed to do? Can reselling really work for me? If this is you, I totally understand where you are coming from, because just a few years ago, I said the same exact things. I said things like, I live in a small town. I don't have access to good brands. Like, reselling works for other people, but it certainly can't work for me. I even said things like, all of the thrift stores are way too overpriced. How could I possibly make a profit flipping these items? Now, I've obviously overcome all of those mindsets and those realities that I thought were holding me back. And while I've learned about tons of brands to flip and I've been able to be successful even right where I live with brands, I've even put together a guides of over 750 different brands that have an average sale price of $20 and more. That's not what we're here to talk about today, because I want to help you do something even more powerful, and that is to unlock even more sourcing opportunities when you can break free of brands and break free of brand lists. There's a few reasons that brand lists could actually be holding you back. We've already talked about the fact that you may be walking into thrift stores in your area, unable to find the brands that you think that you need to be looking for. But there's some other reasons that brand lists may be holding you back as well. Just because a brand is on a brand list doesn't mean that you need to source anything and everything that that brand makes. In fact, I can only think of 2 brands off of the top of my head where I would source every single type of item they make. Otherwise, with each brand, you need to know what items are in demand for that brand. Are they men's items? Are they women's items? Are they bigger sizes? Are they certain types of materials? Now, I break these down as best as I can for you inside of my Big Money Library brand guides. But today I want to unlock something even more powerful for you, because when you can do this, you can break free of those brands and have so many other things to be able to source for your reselling business, including items that the thrift stores are not marking up because they're not a recognizable brand name. So what's the trick? Well, I've got 3 simple things for you to look for when you're out sourcing to be able to source even more items than just brands. First up is size. Now, as a general rule, the bigger the size, the better it's going to sell, for more money it's going to sell, as well as the sale will probably happen a whole lot quicker. If I come across any, say, men's shirts that are in a 3XL or even bigger, like a 5XL, I've even come across a 7XL, that's an automatic, okay, I'm gonna get this because I know that it's going to sell and sell well, even if it's not a name brand. A couple other things to be on the lookout for when it comes to sizes is those special sizes. Now, special sizes, I'm talking about men's big and tall, women's petites. Any of those, they're going to have a smaller market for those items, and you're probably going to be able to sell them for more money and to be able to sell them quicker than just a regular standard size. Now, the next thing to be on the lookout for besides just brand names is the material of the item. Now, a lot of higher end brands do use quality materials, natural fibers like silk, cotton, linen, hemp, those sorts of materials. And it can be a really good way to be able to identify brands that you maybe don't recognize that are maybe a little bit more obscure, but it can also be a good way to be able to source things that aren't, necessarily a name brand. Just because they're made of a quality material, they will sell better and for more money. Bonus tip, if you can hit that check mark for the size, the bigger sizes or special sizes, along with the check mark for a high-end material, that is a win-win. A quick, simple example of this is a sweater I sourced recently. Now, this is from a brand I wouldn't source just for the brand. It's Old Navy, but it was a women's 4X and it was made with wool. Now, it wasn't gobs of money that I made, but it at least unlocked my potential. And I find items like this every single time I go out sourcing. All right, so this brings me to my best tip yet for sourcing items that are non-brand name, and that is to source items based on the look or the aesthetic of the item. These are trends that people are searching for, and it seems like every few days a new thing is the latest trend, especially with the rise of TikTok and people being able to share their fashion styles on that platform. There's this core, that core, and the other core. What is up with all these cores? But they're really important to being able to get your items in front of the right buyers and to be able to source items that are not necessarily name brand. Take, for example, this tank top from the brand Is Buyer that would make nobody's brand list. Nobody is probably searching for this brand, but because of the style of this one sold for $30. Or check out this Arizona men's t-shirt. This one also sold for $30. This is not a brand that anybody is out searching for yet because of those styles that the seller targeted, because of the styles that the seller went after. This t-shirt that otherwise would have sold for, maybe $5, it sold for $31. So what are the styles that you should be sourcing so that you can break free of just having to stick with brands? Well, I've compiled over 80 different style-based keywords. Some of them are like Y2K, goth, steampunk, and I break all 80 of these down into tons of pictures so you can get a quick glimpse of that keyword. I've even included related keywords as well as 7 high profit keywords that are selling for big money that otherwise would have only sold for a few dollars. I've also got a poster version available for you here, and this will really help take your listings to that next level and help you infuse them with the keywords that will help get your items seen and sold, even if you don't have name brands. If there's one thing you take away from this video, I want you to know that you can be successful even without having to rely on big name, high-end brands. You can do this, and I'm here to help. Catch you in the next video.